So good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to our Innovation Talk webinar about maximizing retail potential. Very excited to have you here and hosting this session. We expect this to be about an hour time. So a couple of practical information, housekeeping rules. You can use the Q&A button to ask your questions. We'll do our best to actually address these questions as we go along. Some will be answered in writing, and some will be potentially answered also verbally during the presentation. So you will get the presentation afterwards in a follow-up email. So you're free to take screenshots, but there's really no need to. You can just wait and get it. And on the last slide of the presentation, you'll also have a slide showing contact details. Those will also be readily available in the follow-up email. So today with us, my name is Jens Bertelsen at the bottom here. I head up the Global Technology Alliance team at Hikvision. I'm very excited to have with me also our UK representative, Partner Alliance Manager and Solution Manager, Sawyer Tao, as well as the guest, Carl Jordan from Transpeye or PAL Services. He's actually the subject matter expert on the retail part. Very happy to have those guys present with us today. So the agenda, welcome. This is the part. I will be spending a little bit of time on actually introducing our technology partner program that we have within Hikvision, and I know a lot of you guys are system integrators, so why bother? I'll actually make a point to that. But then we have Carl talking about their solution, which is the video first loss and risk management in retail. Quite exciting about that. And then we'll have save some time for questions and answers. So first of all, the Technology Partner Program at Hikvision, we actually launched this almost 5 years ago. And it actually goes along our model of innovating and building and achieving together. So not going to spend too much time on introducing Hikvision. I do believe that most of you are familiar with that. It's a massive organization and been around for quite a few years with a massive amount of products. But what is more important here is actually our UK presence with 4 offices around throughout the UK and Ireland. We also have demo facilities and training facilities. So all in all, I would say a very, very solid presence in the UK. So no matter where you are in the UK, we are not that far away from you. We also chose to have a call center, so taking in support calls, as well as, which we've had for quite a few years, an R&D center. In the day-to-day business with you as a system integrator, that might not mean a lot, but when we work with integrations, when we work with customizations of products, it means a lot that we actually in country have quite a big team that can do hands-on with coding and that. But all in all, the UK organization is very complete. Sales, of course, pre and post sales organization, technical support and marketing, but also want to highlight our vertical teams that do have specialized knowledge from various industries. They are always ready to address specific needs in verticals. So the Technology Partner Program, what does this actually include? Well, it includes pretty much everything that you can connect and tie and combined with our technology. So software, hardware, and applications, typically complementary to Hikvision solutions, but as you might see and might know, it really comes in all different forms and shapes on what you can include in projects and combine. We have a complete program and has actually had for a while. But some of the programs, are within the products, the technology, the connected technologies, what we call IS API, sort of our interface to interact with third-party systems. We have technologies to put applications into our cameras. For instance, having analytics running, third-party analytics running in the cameras. But we also on the software side have integration programs, so pretty much all around programs for interacting with our technologies, and that addresses pretty much the whole industry. So whether you're talking VMS partners, service providers, even into the IoT space, but also on a day-to-day business, alarm receiving centers or remote monitoring partners, analytics, and so forth. So all of that, portfolio of programs prove that we are very dedicated to having an open platform and being very, very open for partnerships. So you might wonder, why are we even mentioning that when we're talking about retail? Well, for you as integration partner, it actually has some very tangible benefits. First of all, of course, we can do project tailored customization, the integrations. Those typically take some time and need to be developed. But we have, through this program, a range of pre-cooked integrations or pre-made integrations that you can pretty much pick from the shelf and use going forward. That means that as a system integrator, you have a much faster time to value in projects. So no need to wait and is this going to work? How is it going to work? But you kind of have that already made for you. So at the end of the day, we know and that this actually increases the value for the customers. So as a system integrator, knowing that we have a program and we've had for quite a while and we work with a wide range of integration partners, that means that there's a very, very high chance that what you want to do and the systems you want to combine, that's already done, and you can just move forward with that. At present, we actually have in a ballpark of 5,000 integration partners. Obviously, not all of them based in the UK, and they've come out with more than 250 ready-made solutions. So within all the different segments of access control and whatnot. So how do we make this visible to the world? Well, if you go onto the UK Hikvision website and go into the partner section, you can see a range of, I would say, UK-centric technology partners. That's just a relatively small selection, but very dedicated and relevant for the UK market. We also have a dedicated website, which is the TPP or Technology Partner Portal. As you can see, now in this case, I've highlighted Transpeye, which is who's gonna speak up next. So we do have information, online that you can go and find. And if you have any questions to it, feel free to reach out to Sawyer. He's kind of heading that up for the UK. One of the key aspects what we're going to address today is the Hik-ProConnect. And hopefully most of you are already familiar with the Hik-ProConnect and the benefits that brings to you as an installer. The things that you can do beyond the Hik-Connect. Obviously, the installation time is much faster. You can offer the services and do remote management and health monitoring, and also manage multiple sites and multiple installations. But what we're also using that technology for is to connect with third parties. On the left side, you see the Hik-ProConnect sitting on top of the Hik-Connect, and obviously connecting with all our devices and the portfolio of products that we offer. But in the middle, we are actually allowing third parties to tap into that and add the value. In this case, we coupled Transpeye onto this, and Carl will be talking a lot about what that actually means. We extend this into other areas as well, such as alarm receiving centers and so forth. So beyond the regular service that an installer can offer, clients with through the Hik-ProConnect, we tie in third-party technologies to it and enrich installations via that. So on that note, Carl, I'm very, very pleased to introduce you as the next speaker and talk about your video first concept. So Carl, over to you.
Thank you, Jens. Morning all, and thanks for joining us this morning. I have my colleague Ben McDonald with me this morning, so by all means ask and type any questions or queries you may have as we go along, and we'll do our very best to answer them. An introduction firstly. For myself, I've worked as a retailer predominantly for over 35 years, including store management roles, regional executive roles, before moving into loss prevention about 15 years ago. However, I still really class myself as being a retailer at heart. That's where my expertise lies. And then partnering with the likes of Hik and others, really develop our technical know-how. But specifically, we act as more of a retail loss consultancy, providing hardware and software. But our expertise is all around retail total loss. And we talk a lot about malicious and non-malicious activity. So not only are we interested in identifying, the bad aspects of loss and perpetrators, etc., but we're also really interested in improving compliance and having an impact on stock loss and ultimately profit. So Transpeye specifically, it's been developed by us, the retail consultants at PAL Services, and it's built by total loss experts for retail loss and risk professionals, and hopefully installers and integrators also. Transpeye, it's a software solution that provides a video-first approach to risk management. We basically provide video footage of risks that are associated with business via business rules, all in one system to really maximize efficiency. Transpeye, we're suggesting, is the best solution. It's a true, what we now class as an IOST solution, Internet of Security Things solution, for loss prevention professionals with a total loss strategy to identify malicious activity, reduce risks, and ultimately improve profits. With Transpeye, all risks can be managed through the software's ability. The key aspects are to be able to set policies and rules and have live alerts provided when exceptions occur, which ultimately allows an ultimate strategy of being able to sell more, lose less, and serve better. Next slide, please, Jens. The key to Transpeye is our combinations. So literally the combinations with IoT devices, which allows us to develop our IOST strategy. We combine with many different security devices over the internet, maximizing a whole host of systems for the ultimate in-store protection to help reveal the risks. Ultimately, at enterprise level, where we include EPOS connectivity, we are already connected to approximately 11,500 cameras, over 5,500 devices, and we're monitoring just in an EPOS world over 60,000 operators. And obviously to do that, we need to make it really efficient. Some of the main features of Transpeye, which I'll go into in more detail, are our cloud-to-cloud video, which is pretty much where Jens has started, where we've used Hik-ProConnect, which has allowed this to happen. That also provides live video. Within Transpeye, we have bespoke risk-based policy templates, so risk can be developed as bespoke, if you like, per retailer. We integrate video for visual verification of those risks, and we can quickly detect and investigate risks from fraud, or as I mentioned previously, training and non-compliance. We have a full dashboard and reporting suite, but the key to this, and the key for me really, is it's all about simplicity at the heart. Transpeye is really easy to deploy. More importantly, it's really easy to use for the end user, and it gives us the access to manage risks anytime, anywhere. The ultimate key, though, is around maximising the 1% of CCTV that we see as being appropriate in a retail loss prevention world when it's actually needed. So no tracking through recorded images, recorded footage. Setting up Transpeye allows policies to be built and the footage to be pulled in directly, so it's sat waiting for you as soon as you go into the system. We summarise this as it's being an all-in-one combined system across multiple security devices. The images, as Jens said, you'll be able to get a slide deck of the presentation after, but by all means, as I said, Ben's here waiting to ask any questions. So next slide, please, Jens. So as I've mentioned, we connect to many security devices, but in addition, what Transpeye has now done is we've integrated with the Hik-ProConnect software that Jens touched on, which allows CCTV footage to be pulled over the cloud to sit alongside our policy alerts or exceptions to allow a really efficient video-first solution to manage any of those risks remotely from one store to multiple stores. And a little bit later on, we'll touch on a case study with a high street UK retailer where we've just done a really very quick, smooth deployment of over 100 stores. The integration we have done with Hik now includes all Minmo devices, including AXPRO, Intruder, etc. And what you're seeing on the slide there is some basic examples of the smart features that are combined within an existing Hik smart camera. So what we've done is the integration also includes these smart features and allows us to combine these and basically generate alerts within Transpeye. So this includes things like cross-line detection, motion, intrusion zone, and that's basically using the basic camera functions. Or we've now integrated with even more specialist cameras, whether it be footfall, temperature, AMPR, etc. And these are all fully aligned again in the one combined system. Doing this absolutely maximizes the ROI of any kit that we have installed. So when I refer sometimes to, the simplicity of a dumb installation, what we're suggesting is we can really maximize the features of the existing kit or the new kit that's about to be installed. And with Transpeye on top of that, it allows smart installation is what we're referring to. Now, this development with Hik's been huge for us because what it does is allow cloud-to-cloud video, which saves huge amounts of time in deployment and costs, but obviously improving efficiency, not only for the end user in maximising the investment of CCTV, but also maximising the investment in their security systems as a whole and really getting on top of what the risks are. Examples of how the combinations work, we'll show you now over the next few slides. Jens, next slide, if you don't mind. Thank you. So one example is the integration with intruder alarms. So with Transpeye, we can be alerted to the alarm set and unset outside of expected routines, stroke the company policy. But more importantly, in the one system, we can visually random check company policy, compliance of entrance and exits, etc. We also then are able to ensure safety of team members, manage the risk of malicious and non-malicious activities, particularly for internal team access. One key feature we use is to set up high-risk score counts and policies, where, as an example, if we have a high risk of a closed, open and closed setup, if we have this alerting via a policy, anyone at any time can receive an email directly with a high risk score of 1,000 to say this has just happened. So whether you want that to your inbox or your client inbox, etc., you get the alert from the intruder with the video verification, with the video being pulled over the cloud, and therefore not having to wait on alarm logs being checked or alarm log reports being sent from the provider. So there's one example. For a few others, Jens, if you don't mind, next slide. EAS as an example. So EAS, obviously a very traditional system, but we're sort of suggesting now we're bringing it back to be a really useful system by pretty much turning this into a smart EAS integration. So again, we can be alerted to any EAS activation, hopefully ensuring the safety and compliance for dealing with activations from the team members. On review, we can advise on safety. We can be checking compliance with staff safety first policies, ensuring that they're not putting themselves at risk. And we can utilise the full reporting suite to measure the company versus region versus store activations. So we can arguably measure apples with apples. We can assess tagging standards. We can also monitor false alarms, non-tagging, and maintenance issues even. But again, it's really simplistic for us to have connection of EAS via separate connection to Hik cameras with Transpeye on top. You'll see from the imagery that you can get policy alerts coming up. And in that particular image, I think you get somebody trying to duck under the system before a team member rushes out for them. So that's one example of being able to remotely review another combined service. Thanks, Jens. In addition, we at Transpeye supply hardware. So, for example, Smart Shelf. And wherever we sort of deploy and try and integrate our own hardware, we always try to back it up with Transpeye to, again, keep it as an all-in-one system. So, as most people know, Smart Shelf is designed to prevent theft, manage on-shelf availability, increase sales, etc. It's there from a retailer's armory. However, combined with Transpeye, we get alerts at the level that the client determines that can be produced to monitor things like shelf swipes or ultimately any quantity of selection for them to review, again, anytime at anywhere. Ultimately, with Smart Shelf, we can even now offer a live count of what quantity of each SKU is held on the shelf at any one time. So expanding past the retail loss agenda, we're now really talking about on-shelf availability, being available with live counts ready for in-store merchandising, anything from logistics to distribution to on-time delivery. So it's a real key piece of development that we've done. Thanks, Jens. An interesting one now, a randomizer. Everybody, again, probably aware of the very basic randomizer solutions that are out there with a button on the wall that identifies whether somebody should have a search or not, and the button goes green or red. What we've now done is developed our own randomizer app, funnily enough, according to Randomize. Again, it's video first. It includes data. It includes report management to capture all the moments of random searches and now, more importantly, tests. So we've developed this app. It can be downloaded from any Android device currently, or we can obviously supply it with the device. What this does is it ensures a fair and transparent process for any type of search or test. So whether this now be COVID, security, stop and search, drugs or other in any environment, whether that be a stadium, a workplace, a high street, a retail outlet, it can be used anywhere. Clients can use the random search device combined with Transpeye for the ultimate intelligent fair searching system where all the data is captured and, again, all with the video by exception. So it's just another example of how we can integrate with multiple devices and provide visual verification of almost anything you want to see by example. In this example, if you only wanted to see when the alerts went red, so you don't need to have a supervisor even overseeing the random selection, then you can do that. So there's another example. Thanks, Jens. We touched on the smart features also of the built-in camera technology. What we've also done is Transpeye can help combine these smart features to allow smart policies and alerts to be developed when a combination of these smart features or triggers occur, so risks again can be managed by exception. But again, we really see this as maximising the ROI of any developed, installed, new or existing systems by making them system rich, and develop the ROI rather than just a basic install. In this type of solution, we really see supporting ARCs and video management centers to help operators monitor risks with high priority focus. So whether we class this as a secure room environment, modeled for cache fees, monitoring safe or server room, but indeed any room of high value, high risk, whether that be age restrictions, whether it be high value stock. And again, think about this combined with door contacts or combined with the existing smart features. But again, ultimately, whatever alerts we set up, we can combine the rules to say, if a door is opened, followed by a line crossing, followed by motion detection in XYZ, the transaction details appear on the left within Transpeye, and ultimately through Hik camera technology in the ProConnect system, we pull the camera footage in, so again, we can visually verify the level of risk that was associated with that activity. Thanks, Jens. So moving on to EPOS, which is, sort of our enterprise model to some degree. This really is the ultimate in risk management and efficiency. We can set multiple risk-based policies for any data, including refunds, voids, no sales, discounts, in full mode or in training mode, or indeed any combination of those transactions. As mentioned, we've got huge volumes of cameras connected to particularly EPOS devices monitoring thousands of operators now. But what we offer is an alert for when a transaction of interest actually occurs without the need for reviewing exceptions, trading through video, etc. So it's fantastic for retrospective reviewing or live viewing, but it keeps the monitoring of risk sufficient. That's the key. As I mentioned before, it maximizes the 1% of CCTV needed, with the relevant clips being pulled over the cloud to sit alongside the full transactional data, also with an integrated audit function. So you can basically get the alert, you can review the information on the left-hand side in summary, in audit, and where you can see the audit and history on the image, that's basically allowing the data analyst to input the progress of their review, not only of that transaction, but future transactions of that operator, that product, that SKU, that till, as an example. Inside the Transpeye detail with EPOS, we have that full dashboard facility and reporting, and we can adjust risk scores as needed. So the system's based on templates, which I'll start to touch on shortly. And the end user, the client, can have as many templates as they want. So it's completely end user friendly. It's got a full analytics suite. It has forensic and hotspot views and detailed data analysis to reduce loss, particularly at the point of sale. Over the next slides now, we'll show you some examples of the system in progress. And just look out for the rolling images, which start to emphasize the basics of the system. Thanks, Jens. So on the left, we see that the setup of policy templates where parameters can be amended to align with client risks. Policies can be figured by device type, allowing for unlimited combinations of alerting and risk scoring of any nature. There's unlimited amounts of policies. We're probably touching 100 currently, which is, based on our 35 years knowledge of retail and expertise of loss in an EPOS environment. But anything new we ever come across, we just develop accordingly and usually add those to the system for all clients' benefit. On the right-hand side, you can see how the policies are run in real time into simple but powerful data analytics. Again, combined with CCTV, this allows for a quick 3-step process investigation into risk with the video verification at any one time. So that's the policies and analytics. Thanks, Jens. bit more detail on the analytics. The left shows how another analytics view can be used for pattern analysis. Using the quadrant view, we can identify regions, stores, and people that sit outside of the supposed normal behaviours. Again, really simple to use. You're 3 steps away from investigating from the data to visually viewing the video to allow verification of that person, that store, or that region's activities. On the right, this shows our hotspot matrix, allowing for simple yet dynamic table view of the hot risks based on the alert quantity and scoring. One click on the names and numbers takes you directly into the alerts of interest. These tables adjust frequently to show the top 6 areas of risk-based scoring. And again, you can see on the rolling image the basics of how that works, the top 6 changing, and being able to rank each column as they occur. Thanks, Jens. On the next slide, please. Moving on to the forensics and alerts. On the left, the forensic view allows for deeper data integration. With the advanced filters, you have the ability to get the exact data that you want to investigate, creating a powerful multi-site business intelligence tool, but again, ultimately with video, ideally over the cloud. On the right-hand side, the alert view provides all the details of trigger or transaction. Not only getting comprehensive details from the data, including location, time, alert type, and the raw data, but again, also the video verification of the alert where it integrates. And again, you'll see on the scrolling image, the click through, being able to see all the data, ultimately down to the raw receipt. And again, all with the relevant video footage on the right-hand side to sit alongside it. Thanks, Jens. On the alarm side, alert views are consistent throughout the system. So the same view will appear for any type of alert or any device type. So the end user gets used to how the system works. So no matter what, how many locations there are, what types of device there are, how many numbers of systems are associated, you end up seeing the same alert data, all with video verification of that exact alert. So examples are from AAS triggers, smart shelf, randomizers, doorbells, intercom systems, thermsense cameras, examples, anything that Hik have basically developed where we've integrated, we can have all of those into the one system with policies alerted to sit alongside it. Thanks, Jens. And again, on the reporting side, whether you're combining device data and alerts across multiple locations to interrogate dynamically, which is on the left-hand side, or utilizing traditional static reporting on the right-hand side, which includes flexible email notification features, the system has the ability to develop and deliver the information and alerts across large multi-site environments to ensure the right intelligence is going to the right people at the right time. Thanks, Jens. So the case study I touched on earlier, again, you can see there that we've basically worked with Hobbycraft. The UK-based retailer have been installing Hikvision CCTV equipment for some time now and have been maximising the viewing app platform Hik-ProConnect. This allows Hobbycraft's head of loss prevention, Scott Upsall in this case, to be able to review the cameras in any of his stores via the app, anytime, anywhere. Transpeye, though, has utilised the Hik-ProConnect API to fully integrate its main features and USP of pulling the most relevant required CCTV to sit alongside the transactions of risk, whether this be for EPOS-based refunds, voids, discounts, or for a full range of security devices, including smart shelf and, in this case, a randomizer. We can develop what we call key moments. So again, whatever the system, we can capture these and pull them in. And in Hobbycraft's case, we've done a full integration of 100 stores without any software being deployed to capture that other than the integration through Hik-ProConnect. For historic installations, the Transpeye software is installed locally to the relevant DVR and MVR and separately to the relevant device or terminal. In the case with Hobbycraft, the local software to link the DVR and MVR is just not required, which, as you can imagine, has saved huge amounts of cost, huge amount of time in deployment, and we've got ongoing developments as the combined relationship between Hik and Transpeye allows the relevant footage to be pulled cloud to cloud. Scott's summary of this basically said that this setup with remote review is now real-time, on demand, and the ability to drill into any behavioural event used for a huge range of purposes to develop our business, Hobbycraft, have immediately seen some real value from the system, and on-site investigations dropping by 25% in the first 6 months of installation, and continue to push our focus where it needs to be based on the business intelligence rules being applied. The amount of transactions we can review at speed is significant and has vastly increased the number of investigations and successful outcomes. The amount of training and compliance issues raised affecting inventory has also been dramatic. The speed to deploy this has been amazing, and he wants to pass on thanks to the Hik team and Transpeye, obviously, I'll mention, because it's all through the deployment of Hik-Connect and Hik-ProConnect to allow this to happen. So there's some detail on the integration. So ultimately, we have full integration to all 100 stores, all EPOS data being pulled from every 15 minutes. But this is all around maximising the ROI, improving the efficiency and creating results. Thanks, Jens. Over the next slide, what we're looking to do is just give you some basic idea that I'm not going to go through in any detail, but just to share really some of the ways that we can connect to any of the systems out there for those that may be interested. So whether it be cloud to device, whether it be cloud to back office, or whether it be cloud to cloud, but ultimately on the cloud to cloud is our preferred system. And obviously ProConnect being the proven case study is the way in an ultimate cost-friendly and efficient environment that we'd like to be capturing the video footage and maximize that relationship and that technological software to keep it really smooth transfer of install of all that footage into the one system being transpied. Thanks, Jens. Again, not going to go into detail here, but for when you get the slide deck, you always get a lot of questions about the deployment options for EPOS data. And this slide helps identify those. But ultimately, if we generate cloud-to-cloud services from an EPOS provider, that's great, but there are alternative options listed there. So if ever required, we can go through multiple different integration systems. And thanks, Jens, for the next slide. Again, this is just similarly, we get a lot of questions from integrators around how we do local store deployment. So that's exactly what this slide is for. And hopefully it will help with future reviews and any questions that you may have. But ultimately, what we're looking to do is expand on Transpeye key features and reveal the risks, which is pretty much the slide but one to end. So next slide, please, Jens. So ultimately, what we're hoping to do is maximize the Transpeye key features with Hik and the cloud-to-cloud video ProConnect service to reveal risks in any retail environment. So the image just gives an example of what we're looking to do. So whether it's integration with ANPR at the start of parking lot, whether it be at the entrance for footfall counting, whatever else you can do now, obviously with some of these entrance cameras is significant. whether it be for back office, whether it be in a control room, whether it be at the point of EPOS service, or indeed product shelves. We're looking to develop all of that integration and develop the cloud-to-cloud piece, not only maximising the investment from a retail loss prevention point of view, but also all the aspects of marketing, the benefits of some of these new advanced cameras, and ultimately all the additional devices that we talked about through to Smart Shelf. So to find out more, there's some details there that Jens mentioned. You can see the websites that are relevant, one being Transpeye, and two, to learn a bit more on Hik-ProConnect. You can see that there. And final slide, please, Jens. This is it for us. So by all means, give us a shout if we've got any guys that are, anybody that's interested in seeing a free demo. Then give us a shout by all means. And that's it. So thanks from me, thanks from Ben. If we've had any questions, and back to you, Jens.
Well, thank you very much, Carl. That was, I think, very, very interesting and a little bit scary on the power you actually can extract from a system when you combine, two different, I would say systems, the POS and the video. The amount of information you get out is just amazing. What I think also is a key takeaway here is that it's so much more than video. It's about addressing the exact needs in the same language, and I'm not talking about English or French or whatever, but the retail language that they speak. Understanding the key pain points is a very, very important takeaway, and the team of Transpeye with the combined knowledge has lived this world for a long time and can speak that language. So thank you very much, Carl, for demonstrating your system and the power of such an integration. I'll leave this on for just a second. Let's see if there are any open questions. I don't see any open questions. If you have any, now is the time to raise them. If not, you will get the presentation afterwards, so you can dig deeper into it. I want to use this opportunity also to thank the Transpeye team for coming and showing this, and thank you everybody for listening in. It's been a pleasure. So thank you very much all, and have a great day.
Thank you.